crime friends. We clutch our pearls and laugh again. We all gather around. Kathy has a story to tell, our favorite comedian. Heffa, please, I don't have the free time unless you got the scoop again. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away.
Hey there, true crime friends. How y'all doing? Guess who's here? Crystal Barreto. Hey, Crystal, welcome to Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for dropping by. When I saw that you had shared when it came up in court that you had shared like news links or whatever on your Facebook, I was like, wait. I got shared in a trial. Hold on now. This might be my national debut. I was very excited. But I'm so interested in you, your story, your family, the whole thing.
Yes, it's very something out of a movie. It's crazy. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like it's going to be 3 seconds until there's like a lifetime version of this story or, We TV or one of those things.
Right, yeah. I have gotten reached out from like Netflix and stuff like that to talk about my sister's story, but we're
Really?
not there
Well, look,
yet. Yes.
let's back up. For those who don't know, recently, Daisy Link out of Florida was convicted of second-degree murder of her domestic partner, Pedro Jimenez. But that's only a little piece of the story. While Daisy was locked up waiting for her trial to come about, she made national news because she got pregnant while in, I guess it was like a solitary cell, a single solitary cell at the jail because look, we got to use YouTube friendly words here. So, gentleman who was on another floor passed his biological specimen to Miss Daisy through an air vent and she inserted it into her no place. Again, we're using real technical terms here. And she got pregnant. So everybody was like, wait, what? That can't happen. And I'm telling you, it did because I had a baby. And okay, not exactly that way, but kind of similar. So people were talking about this baby, but then Daisy came to trial. And I was like, I don't know what she's there for. She's not there for this baby situation. So, during the course of the trial, the very rude, in my opinion, prosecutor was like, they're
Yeah.
sharing things on Facebook. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then I was in a live stream and somebody said, wait, she shared gossip, rumor, and innuendo. And I was like, hold the phone. I got to reach out to Crystal Barreto.
Yes.
So, Crystal, let's start from the beginning. Like, where did you grow up? Where are you from?
I mean, we're originally from Puerto Rico and we grew up here in Miami.
Okay,
Miami,
cool.
Florida.
How many kids in the family?
Well, it's 6 of us all together.
Oh, wow.
I believe it's 4 girls and 2 boys.
Okay, that's a big family.
Yes, a
Where
big family.
where do you fall? Like your oldest, youngest, where do you fall in the birth order?
So, because it's 6 of us, I'm like one of the middle child. I'm one of the girl middle children, and then my brother falls in with me as a middle child too.
Okay. Okay. And you're Daisy's big sister or her little sister?
I am her older sister.
You I was like, she got big sister energy, but I'm a baby sister, but I have big sister energy too, so you never know.
Yes. Yeah, I'm her big
But
sister. Big
okay,
protector.
okay. Yes, of course, of course. So y'all grew up in Miami. Was dad in the home? Was dad not in the home?
I mean, my mom was a single mother, so
Gotcha.
but she did end up meeting this very great guy when we were younger, and he's the one who basically raised us, raised Daisy. And thank God
Mhm.
because he was a very good father figure for us. Very smart, intelligent man.
That's so cool. That's so cool. So Daisy goes off to high school and at some point meets Pedro. How did they even meet?
I
Or if
don't
you
know the
know.
story of how they met. I just
Mhm.
remember the story of how I met him.
Oh,
So
spill. Tell me.
Right. So when I met him, it was actually because they were having their first domestic violence situation.
Wait, how long have they been dating? Or how long have they been
They
together or whatever?
they've been together for about 10 years.
No, no, at the time that you first met him, how
Oh,
long
at the
have they
time
been
that
together?
at the time that I first knew who he was, I
Yeah.
think it had been just like maybe 6 months of them talking. And she had called us like, oh, I'm dating this guy, and I guess she was staying with him in his place, and he had like
Mhm.
disrespected her. And she called us like, hey, I met this guy. He's basically putting his hands on me, and I've been staying with him. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Why? What are you doing? Where are you at? And so when I
Yeah.
went to go get her is when I actually met him.
How old was she at this time?
I think Daisy was, I don't know, maybe 17.
Oh my god, a baby! She was a
A
baby.
baby. She was a baby. I
So
don't
she's
know the age difference between him and her. I
right.
know he has to be around my age
So
or
how
just
much
a little
older is that
younger.
than Daisy?
I mean, I believe I am like 9 years older than Daisy.
Oh, 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 I didn't realize he was that much older than her.
Yeah, he's older than her. Like, at least,
Oh,
he has to be at
wow.
least 6, 7 years older than Daisy.
And if she's only 17, like, it's fascinating to me that a man who is, like, grown, you know what I mean, is
Hmm.
even with a teenager. Like, why are you even looking at teenage girls? You know what I mean? It's a little creepy.
Yeah, he was a little weird guy.
Eee. And he was big. In my mind, he was like a skinny little thing, but something in the court said he
Hmm.
was big. How big was he?
Yeah, he had to be about 6'2", um, big guy, like at least 200 something pound guy, like big,
Oh,
tall guy. He was very
oh.
intimidating. He if you would see
Mm.
him, you'd be like, oh no, I don't want to mess with that guy. Like, that's the type of guy he looked like, very intimidating guy.
Oh my God. Okay, so your little sister is dating this big mean guy. You get this phone call
Hmm.
and she's like, "Oh, hey, he's over here wilding out. What do y'all do as a family?"
Well, I was like, first of all, I didn't know who he was or
Right,
anything
right,
about him
right.
because I guess he was very new, like dating her. And I was like, hold on, I'm gonna need reinforcements because I don't know who this guy is, and I'm not gonna go by myself
Mhm.
somewhere, and I'm unsure. So I picked up my two boy cousins and my mom, of course, because my mom, she is the
Yep,
ringleader.
yep.
And my mom's always like, if I don't take my mom, stuff could pop off. So I
Right.
always take my mom, because my mom's like the judge, like, no, calm down, no, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
my mom
yeah,
has
yeah,
to come
yeah.
with us. So I picked her up,
Look.
picked my two
Oh my
cousins,
God.
and we went over there to like see what was going on. And then that's when I kind of met him, and I didn't like him right away.
Wow. So from jump, he's crazy. He's like acting outside of what you would expect for a man for your sister, but they stay together, obviously.
Yes, they stayed together after that, and then whatever, it was her decision. She wanted to, like, I guess, stay with
Right.
him and be with him. And I'm the type of person that I don't like to be in nobody's business, but don't play with my family and don't touch my sister
Mhm.
type stuff.
100%. 100%. It's so funny because I think most families have, like, you a nice family, you do what you do, you have your job, whatever. But if something jump off, everybody got a cousin who's willing to go to jail for you. Like
Oh
Bobo and Nuck
yes.
Nuck will strap up and show up. You know what I mean? Like they're there, they're ready to go. And then mom is like, okay, I'm gonna be the judge, but if I need to step back and look the other way, I'm gonna let these cousins handle this situation. You know what I mean?
Right. My mom has like always been the one, like the little angel on your shoulders that's like talking to you in your head. That's
Yeah.
always been my
Yeah, yeah,
mom.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's her in the situation. So, we all
That's
gotta
cool
listen to
though.
mom.
That's cool, that's cool. So, Daisy has her first baby with Pedro, who is now he's like 10 or 11 now, right? The first
He's
baby? Her
Yeah,
son.
he's 11 years old. Her first baby.
Okay. So, they have a baby. He's still acting crazy, I guess, but they're still together?
Well, when that kind of happened, he was like those type of, when people are in abusive relationships, the abuser always isolates you from your family. That's always the first thing
Yeah,
they try to do, because they know
yeah.
when the family's involved, we're not letting that go down. So he
Mhm.
kind of isolated her from us. um Me and Daisy always had like this really close relationship. We always spoke, we always hung out. When we wanted to go do something, it was like, hey, what are you doing today? Oh yeah, let's go do this, let's go do that. But then when she started to get really deep with this guy, it was more
Mhm.
like, where's Daisy at? Have you seen Daisy? Have you talked to Daisy? And I'm like, I've texted her and stuff like that,
Mm.
but she wasn't being consistent anymore, was keeping up with us. So
Yeah.
he kind of isolated her from us.
That makes sense. I feel like it's sort of the same pattern over and over and over, right? They're like, "Oh, no, 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 no. People won't understand our love," or whatever mess they sell, to
Right.
the person that they're with. And she was 17, good Lord, dealing with a man that was that much older. So she has a couple kids with this guy. The situation continues to be volatile. It's from what I understood in court. At some point, the family was like, "Okay, Daisy, we're gonna pack you up. You got to go." Your mom lives in Texas, right?
Yes, she moved to Texas.
So, at what point, I guess Daisy had started reaching back out to the family. Tell me what happened that Daisy was planning to leave, because I know good and well in a DV situation, they say it takes like 6, 7 times of a person trying to walk away before they actually walk away. So, is this her first time trying to leave him, or is this like it kept going on and on?
No, this was actually not Daisy's first time trying to leave him. It was something that has happened a lot over a period of time. Um,
Mm,
this is probably like her 10th time trying to walk away from him. So
that
we
tracks.
knew it was going to be something that wasn't easy.
Right.
That cycle where something happens and then they try to be nice and then they try to sweet talk you and then you feel like everything's okay again and then you're thinking about, oh, should I not go back, and you're
Right.
very confused as what to do. So you're
Mhm.
like, oh my God, what do I do? But that's when somebody has to intervene and try to kind of like wake up. This is not going
Mhm.
anywhere. You're in this
Mhm.
cycle over and over and over again, and you're gonna end up hurt. So it was
Yeah.
like, I think Daisy herself already knew that something bad was gonna happen to her, and she was
Mhm.
like, you know what? I'm done with this. I don't want to
Right.
go through this anymore. I want out of
Right.
this relationship. And it was, I would say, 3 months prior to the incident, and she was
Mhm.
telling me already that she was gonna leave with my mom. And I was like, great,
Wow.
that's awesome. So she was supposed to leave around 4th of July.
Okay.
That's when she was supposed to leave. But as you can see, all this went down.
Right, right. It's like it's wild because I have a cousin who was in a very similar situation where it was like, no, 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 I'm gonna. Next thing you know, she's like, oh, he's going to church with me, and we're doing this together. We're in counseling. We're ABC 1, 2, 3, and then I'm like, here we go. It was another 4 attempts before they finally were just like done with one another. But it
Right.
takes a minute. It takes a minute. I feel you said, something bad was going to happen to her. I feel like something bad had been happening to her for a long time.
I mean, when I say something bad was gonna happen to her, bad things had already been happening to her. It wouldn't
Yeah,
take a blind person to see that. Like, it was visible
right.
on her. You could see it on her face. She had marks all over her. You would ask her, oh, who did this to you? And she would make up all kinds of stories like, oh no, I fell or this. But everybody,
Mhm.
whoever has ever been in a domestic violence situation knows the patterns. They would know these things. I
Yep.
myself have been in a similar relationship to my sister. So that is
Mm,
why I am so protective of her, because I know what it is. I know what it is to suffer in silence. I know what it is to protect this person, because they're
right,
they're so good and sweet when they're good. But when they're
right.
bad, it's almost like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Who am I gonna run to? Who's gonna help me? But you have
Right,
already
right.
told everybody all these nice and sweet things about him. Who's gonna believe you after that?
Right. And then how are you going to look if you change your mind and decide to go back? So it becomes this cycle, and this cycle of shame as well is crazy.
Yeah, yes. A lot of
I, I've
shame.
never I've never been in a physically abusive relationship, but I was in a very emotionally abusive relationship. And I never talked about when he was going crazy. But when he was nice, I was like, he bought me these flowers. He did this thing. He did this nice thing, right? And so people would hear like bits and pieces of the story. And so it was hard to go back and be like, right, he bought me those flowers because he, called me out my name and talked about my mama and did whatever. I think it's far more common than people know, and it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is heartbreaking because of situations like, this one.
At some point, social services and whatever was involved because there was at court they talked about a parenting plan. How did the law get involved with the situation prior to the shooting on the day of the event?
So basically, how the social services got involved, because that guy, Pedro, he was not like your average. He was not a nice person.
Mm,
So it was in like 2016. I was trying to help my sister out. She had just had the
mhm,
the little girl, and I
mhm,
tried to help her get away from him. And what ended up happening is, when he kept coming to my house and like stalking her, harassing her,
oh,
um, being violent at my home. And I
oh
ended
my
up telling
God.
my sister, like, hey, you know what? Like, he keeps coming over here. We call the cops constantly. The cops are like, oh, he's not here. Okay, well, if he comes back, call us. And it's
Right,
like a
right.
cycle with the cops too. They don't help you. They don't help you until
Mhm,
somebody gets hurt, and then they're like, "Oh, what happened here? We don't understand what's going on." You know what happened?
mhm,
There's a whole bunch of history back there. How many times we have to call
mhm,
you before you figure out what happened? How many times we have to give you the address to where he lives at before you go over there and check him out? They don't do
mhm.
anything, and then at the end they want to act so surprised that something happened. So
Wow.
basically, I told her, you're gonna have to go live with mom, because I can't have this guy keep popping up and showing up at my house because you're here and
Right.
I have my kids here too. I have to worry about my
Mhm.
kids and my own safety, and so he ended up, uh, because my sister was there with me, calling social services
Calling social services on you or on her?
on me. So
Oh,
he
that's
called the social
crazy.
services on me and was making like kind of an emergency situation. So when social services came to my house, they were like, somebody called them and said, this and this was going on. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was so confused. So they came in my home and they checked me out and this and that. And everything was good. And they were like, you know what, we're very sorry. People do this all the time as like a revenge type thing.
Right,
And I said,
right.
I think I know who did this. And when I told them that it was him, they started investigating him.
Oh, that's some karma for your ass. Okay,
Right.
okay,
So they started
okay.
investigating him. And that's when all, these things were going on, where they were making him take a parenting class, where they were making him do all these things, because it was actually him who needed social services called on, not me.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. So that's when they were like, okay, he can't have the visitation with the kids and all this other kind of stuff, right?
Right, because he's obviously abuses alcohol, does, drugs and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
of course, they had if they're investigating him, you have to investigate my sister too. So,
First.
she was also involved in the investigation. She did her parenting. She would drop urine once a week. She did what she had to do to
Mhm.
get full custody of the kids and all that, and then
Right.
they terminated
Right.
his parental rights to the kids because he was not cooperating with the court. So basically they gave him a
Oh.
chance. They're like, look, if you want your parental rights back, then you need to do this and that, so that you'll be able to have visitation with the kids. But for right now, you don't have rights to the kids. You're not allowed to be around them, not allowed to see them, because you're a drug addict and you like to abuse
Mhm.
alcohol and you like to abuse women. So these kids cannot be in that type of environment. So he
Right.
has supervised visitation with his mother. And of course, the kids are with Daisy. He cannot be around there.
Right. Okay. That makes a lot more of what I heard in court make sense because it was like little bits and pieces of that came out, but all of it didn't come out. So
Right.
he doesn't have rights, but she, of course, feels sorry for him because she loves him and whatever. So she keeps letting him come back. But that again is the cycle of abuse that happens.
Right, and also for the fact that his mom moved away to Texas, I mean to Georgia. She moved to
Right.
Georgia, and she
Right.
wasn't there to supervise his visitations anymore because she would leave the kids at his mom's so that he can go see
Mm-hmm.
them at the mom's
Mm-hmm.
house. And because she moved, she kind of felt sorry for him, like, I know that your mom left and this and that, I'll let you come to the house and see the kids, but
Right.
this has to be on the hush hush because I can get in trouble letting you come over here and see the kids like this, and I can
Mhm.
lose them. I can lose custody of my own kids.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. And there was another thing about like she was afraid to call on him because she didn't want him to get deported. Is he from Miami? Is he from someplace else? What was the story with that, with his fear of
So
deportation?
basically, he had already been deported once.
No.
I believe it was for a vehicular homicide or something like that.
Wait,
And
what?
right.
Wait. You're not gonna skip that part. So he drives a truck for a living. Was his vehicular homicide related to his job or just an extra
No, it
thing?
was something that happened, I guess, when he was younger.
Okay.
And I guess he
Damn.
was like drinking and driving and doing his thing, what he always does. And he got into a car accident and he ended up, I believe, killing his ex-girlfriend or something like that.
Oh my God. Okay, he's undateable on the strength of even part of that, right? So
Right.
he has a vehicular homicide. He already has one dead girlfriend. And where did he get deported to? Where's he from?
So he's from Mexico. So they deported
Okay.
him over there to Mexico, and then he ends up coming back.
Right.
Now I don't know if he
And
came
gets a
back
job.
legally, illegally. I have no idea
Girl,
on that part.
you know he's not back legally. He's not
I
back.
I mean, I
But
don't
I
know
want
how
to
he
know.
entered back after that because I'm like, wait a minute. After something like that, how did they let you back into the country?
Yeah, he wasn't filling out paperwork. He wasn't like filling out forms and waiting his
Yeah, I
turn.
don't think he came in with a visa.
Yeah, no. 100% he did not come back with a visa. Oh, oh my God. Okay, my mind is kind of blown right now. So he's back. He's obviously dangerous. She's afraid. This makes so much more sense, right? Like a young girl, she's been with this dude for a long time. It's always been a little bit crazy. It was probably, probably high highs and low lows. But
Right.
she said he was good as long as he wasn't getting high, which seems like he was high all the time, or a
Right.
lot of the time at least.
I
It's
mean,
kind of
honestly, in
crazy.
my opinion, I didn't say anything good about him at all.
Yeah, yeah.
He didn't have like a really friendly personality, if you can say, like that type of
Right.
person.
I mean, honestly, like I grew up in the suburbs, and when I first moved to New York, I was like, "Ooh, I want one of these hood boys." And then I dated one or two. I was like, "Oh, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you." But then I met a man at my job who's like a little bit rough around the edges. That's like he's hood light. You know what I mean? That's enough
Right.
hood for me. We've been together for 25 years now. It's like that's enough. And now he live in the suburbs and he's suburban. So, but like I get the appeal of the bad boy, but like,
Yeah, no.
girl,
Not that bad. Like not like that.
mm-mm. I
There's
want
like
like, have
rough
you?
around the edges, like you said, and then
Yes.
there's
Yeah,
that.
you can't be rough in the middle, on the sides, the top, the bottom.
No,
No,
you have
ma'am.
to have some kind of soft side, like
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, look, he's probably putting in work in that bedroom though, because that's what happens. You'd be like, "Ooh, I got."
that
It took
too.
over
Like
my mind.
sometimes that could blind you or keep you around. But
Yeah,
Jesus,
especially if
for
you're
me,
young.
there's no beating good enough for me to stick around.
Girl. Girl, they don't make them. That makes me, "Oh, you gonna beat me up?" And then I'm, no. So, oh
Exactly.
Lord Jesus. So she's with a crazy man. The whole family knows he's a crazy man at this point. Does Daisy have a good relationship with Pedro's family at this point, or do you even know?
I mean, a few times I've interacted with his family. Um,
Mhm.
a lot of this, like when I met his family, I was like, okay, because you can see a lot about a person, like how they act from through their family. You're like, oh, okay, now I
Yeah.
understand, right? So when I
Yep.
met Pedro's family, I was like, okay, this is where he gets the abuse from, because his dad is not a nice person, just like him. And you could tell that
Oh.
his mom is like, that's the reason why his mom left to Georgia, because they separated,
Yeah.
because his dad is
Yeah.
abusive. And abuse
Yeah.
is a learned behavior. So when you're
Absolutely.
seeing a lot of abuse happen in your household, especially something like that where you're putting your hands on somebody, because you learned that from somewhere. And
Mhm.
and I
Mhm.
know where he learned it from, because he learned it from his dad.
Yikes. Yikes. His mom is still in Georgia. Is his father still living?
Yes. His dad lives here, actually.
I hope you don't run into him down at the Publix or nothing, because that sounds crazy.
Yeah, he hope he don't run into me.
All right. Let him know, sis. Let him know. Okay. So your mom comes to town. I guess Daisy had the cousin over, right? And the cousin's kids while Pedro was out of town. And he came back and was mad, despite the fact that he should not have been at her house. My understanding from watching the court trial was that
Hmm.
Pedro was on the road or off wherever. He comes over to Daisy's house unexpected and is mad because he sees a man in the house. But that man is your cousin. Do I have that right?
So basically, what happened in that situation is my cousin was actually staying with her for like a week,
Oh, okay.
and I guess Daisy had a friend that may have also been romantically involved with Pedro. And
Oh,
she's the one who told him that um my cousin was in the house, but she kind of told him in a way like, oh, her lover, she has another guy, basically, like, you know she has another man. So when he comes out of nowhere, it's because somebody had already put some stuff in his head that Daisy had another
Jesus.
man, basically saying she moved another guy in the house.
Oh my God. That oh my I am speechless. But the level of like petty, ridiculous. First of all, I don't understand women who want to go after somebody's man. That's number one. Number two, that dude, like him. I was
Hmm.
married to like a billionaire who kept her on yachts and in a private helicopter, but him?
That's what I
Mm-mm.
said. If you ain't no lawyer or doctor, I'm not fighting over you, baby.
Like, girl, no way.
Exactly.
So he was already primed up. This friend, this person that knew Daisy, because that's not a friend.
That's not
This
a
person
friend.
who knew Daisy started some mess. I wonder how they
Mhm.
feel today. Like, oh, oops, look what I set off. He
Mhm.
goes over there. That's when they get into an argument, and Pedro pistol whips Daisy. And then I guess Pedro left after that.
So basically, when he goes over, that's when he breaks into the back of the back house, and
Oh
comes
God.
inside. Surprise, surprise! I'm here, and pistol whips Daisy with his pew pew. Then
Mm.
then he leaves after he does that, because of course somebody called the cops.
Right, right. Oh, right. And that's when they said he was afraid that the police would track him using his phone, so he throws his phone away.
Right.
Um,
He got rid of his phone.
and then there was something about a truck. It was never clear to me what happened with his truck, that Daisy damaged his truck or said she was going to damage his truck or car or something like that.
Okay, so the truck thing is this. Daisy um took out a vehicle, but Daisy doesn't
Okay.
have credit. So
Okay.
he basically signs for this vehicle, to help her out because she has the kids, but she pays for everything. She puts the down payment on it. She makes all the payments on it. So she had just paid off the truck. And out of
Ah.
spite, he comes to take away the truck because of, what the friend is telling him, that she's seeing somebody else and this and that. So she's
Mhm.
upset because, hey, this is my car. I paid it off. All you did was help me pull it out, and now
Right.
you're trying to come and take it away from me.
Oh,
So
man.
she's like, "Oh, you want to take the truck? Here, take it. Take it like, take it like this."
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. The thing that made me so mad was when the prosecution kept being like, he didn't pistol whip her that badly, as though there's some degree of getting pistol whipped that's okay and some degree that's not. It made my head explode. I was losing my mind watching this trial. Like, I don't care what she did to a car, he damaged a human being. Like, that's crazy to me.
First of all, a vehicle that didn't belong to him.
Right?
Uh, that was her vehicle, to take the kids and do everything she needed to do. But
Mhm.
because he was so upset, he wanted to try to hurt her in any type of way. And in my mind, I'm thinking, wait a minute. Because they try to kept making it a point that he lived there and this and that and the other. So I'm thinking to myself, right? If my partner that I live with in my home
Mhm.
tries to do something to me, in a way where I feel like my life is in danger, should it
Right.
matter if he lived here or not to defend myself?
Truly.
What is the point in
Truly.
that? Oh, because he lived there, he didn't live there. So you're trying to say that if he lived there, he had the right to beat her over the head like that? That he had the
That's
right.
crazy.
Oh, are you trying to say because he may have lived there, he didn't live there, she didn't have the right to protect herself? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what the court is trying to say here? Because that's scary.
It's really scary because at what point is it like I could not for the life of me. I know there are people all over the internet who are like, Daisy's terrible, Daisy this, Daisy that. But from opening statements, I was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? I don't understand. And there were people who were like, oh, well, Daisy shot him in the back. And I'm like, she shot him in the bottom of his foot accidentally. What are we talking about right now? The whole thing made
Right.
me so mad. It made me so mad. So just to keep this story moving, for people who may not know the entire story who are watching this video, he comes to her, he breaks in her house, beats her up, fights with the cousin, tries to shoot at her in front of the kids, and then runs off. Right. And
Right.
then I guess he felt bad, felt sorry, they made up, and he came over a few days later and he took her to dinner or something.
Right, because so when that happened, we had already made our little plan, like Daisy's leaving, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess, as the days go by and he's talking to her, whatever it is that he does, the voodoo that he puts on her,
Mhm.
she feels sorry, and it's like, okay, I want to at least let him see the kids because he was supposed to go on this very long trip. And then she was like, that's the moment. Like, we have to do it like now because he's going to
Right.
be gone, and that gives me the time to leave.
Right. Right.
Why? Because when he's around, he's always like stalking her. Always coming
Mhm.
by, always
Mhm.
driving by, see what she's doing, see if she's there. She's at her house. So
Mhm.
she wanted to let him spend time with the kids and do all that before she left, and keep him calm as possible, keep him, because
Right.
things were already heated up from the pistol whipping, from him thinking David was her lover, and the little
Mhm.
friend that's talking in his ear and stuff like that. So she was trying to bring the situation down to where he was
Mhm.
cool, calm, and collected, and we could do our thing in peace with her, like,
Mhm.
our secretly moving type of thing.
Right.
So that happens, and then that's when I guess it was like, okay, come see the kids, this and that. And then the friend's house that he supposedly, the one he goes to, actually lives on the next block over from Daisy.
Oh, okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. So he goes out with his friend. He's fine when he goes to see the kids earlier in the evening. Then he
Right.
goes out and gets drunk and high and everything else, right? He on everything but roller skates.
Mm-hmm.
Um, He comes back. She's supposed to take him to his mom's house where he lives, but he's like, "Oh, I left my keys at your place. Let's
Right.
go to your place and get the keys."
Right. So when
So,
she ends up taking him to his mom's, he's like, "Oh, I can't find my key. I think I left them at your place." So she ended up
okay.
bringing him back to get his keys.
Mhm. And that's where he saw your mom and everybody. Is that the first time he saw that your mom and everybody was in town? Like your mom, there was a cousin and other people?
Right, because my mom was going over there to help Daisy, pack and stuff like that, and she was telling us like, "Oh, I'll be right back. I'm dropping him off," and then she had to do something at the post office, and then she was coming back to the house. So I'm
Mhm.
like, "Oh, okay." So when I got there, she wasn't there at the moment. So that's when my mom and then we're like, "Oh, let's just wait. She's already down the street," and comes back, and she's like, "He's there," and I'm like, "What? No, let's go." But my mom stays there with her and Laylene.
Okay, right, your niece. And then Pedro comes back. They said Pedro was like pacing back and forth, acting crazy. Why was he pacing back and forth? That part kind of didn't make sense to me.
So not pacing back and forth. What he was doing was he kept going back and forth because the friend lived right on the next block over. So he kept going over
Oh.
there and coming back and kind of because there's like an alleyway that connects the friend's
Mhm.
house to Daisy's house. And that's what
Mhm.
he kept doing all night. He would go over there, do his thing, and then come back and try to argue or fight with Daisy and then kept going back
Oh
over there
boy.
to the
So
friend's
he's
house,
probably
which is
taking more and more and more drugs and whatever.
right.
Oh God. And so they get into this argument. They go outside and she's got the gun, right? She's like, I don't know what he's going to do. They go outside and they have a conversation or an argument or something. And then my understanding was that he went to run. He told Daisy he was going to lock her out. He was going to make her sleep outside, which
Mm-hmm.
I never heard of such a thing. That's crazy to me. But he says
Right.
he's gonna make her sleep outside and he's running towards the door and she shoots by his feet to, "Ooh, hey daddy," in the background. Okay, sorry.
Uh-huh.
Um
Sorry. Sorry. It's Sunday.
no, listen, it's your house. You can do whatever you want to do. Ain't none of my business. I was like, "Mm." Okay, sorry. Um, this dude's trying to lock her out. And so she's shooting towards him, trying to get him to get away from her house, right? That's my understanding of it.
Right.
And so she shot him in the bottom of the foot.
Well, the thing is this. If Pedro were to have gotten into that house, that
Mhm,
pistol whipping, you know,
mhm.
it's like there's no way that she could let him go into that house. She was alone, first of all.
Yep.
Second of all, had he had gotten inside the house, it was not going to be good for her.
Yeah,
Because then
for
she would
sure.
have had to try to, the moment she would have tried to step foot in that house and get him out, it would have been done for her because he was gonna beat her to a pulp. And that's the way he
Yep,
was. That's why he wanted
yep,
to get in so bad. I'm pretty sure he was pacing around because he was trying to wait for her to be alone, and that's probably why he was
mhm.
going back and forth all the whole night. Baja eso, por favor. And I'm pretty sure that he was waiting for her to be alone so that he could strike. Of course, that was his plan the whole time.
Oh, that's
So
so
to
crazy.
get him not to come inside the house and do that, you know, you have to think of her state of mind. Look what just happened to her a couple of
Absolutely.
days before. Who wouldn't be in fear of something like this happening to them again? Or if he gets me
Yep,
inside that house, or if he gets into that house, how am I going to get inside? And then I already know what she was thinking. Like, if I call the cops and they come over here and they see him, they're going to open an investigation with CPS. They're going to take my kids. I'm never going to be able to get out of here. I'm never going to be able to leave. I'll be stuck
yep,
here dealing with all this. Like, I already know what she was thinking in her mind.
yep.
Anybody who saw that would have had to say, wow, if I would have got beat like that a couple of days before, I would have been thinking about that too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why my flabber was gasted when the jury came back so quickly. I was like, well, obviously she's going to be acquitted. I was truly stunned. Although there was because I saw other people on the internet saying, no, she was wrong. She was wrong. She should have, she could have, she would have, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, did y'all watch the same trial I just watched? But I get it that two different people can watch the same thing, and have different points of view. But I was just like, oh my God, crazy. The whole thing is crazy.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, who could have not have saw that and I guess come up with a different conclusion? Like, that's crazy to me. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't even know if they were actually paying attention.
I mean, listen, everybody filters things through the filter of their own experience, but I was like, dang. So it would be crazy if that was the end of the story, but it's kind of not. So Daisy ends up getting Pedro's dead. She shoots him. The bullet goes through the bottom of his foot, hits an artery, and then they have her on ring video camera or whatever saying like, I shot you. Do you want to go to the hospital? And he's like, nah, 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 nah. Oh, you're muted.
So basically, when that happens, first of all, I you would have to know Pedro to understand why she responded it like that.
Mhm.
So basically, he was first of all, she didn't think he was shot because
Right,
she did
right,
not shoot. She did not like aim the gun at him and just shoot the gun at him. It was not like that. She kind of shot at the ground and
right.
it hit him on the foot.
Mhm,
So she didn't think he was shot. And
mhm.
also, he was the type of person that he would be like, "Oh, you did this to me, or you did that to me," to try to get you to get close to him. And then,
Oh.
I know if she would have been like, "Oh, where? Let me see," or chase after him to try to see where it was, he would have grabbed a hold of her and beat her. That's the type of person he
Course,
was.
of
So
course.
that's why she was like, "Oh, you were shot," because she did not think he was shot. She felt like he was lying. And
Right.
she was like, "Well, then let me take you to the hospital." "Oh, no, you
Mhm,
don't want to go to the hospital?" "Well, I could have hit an artery, but I guess you'll be fine because you don't look
mhm,
like you hurt, child. You don't look like nothing wrong with you."
mhm, mhm.
So that's
So
how he kind of took it. Like he was lying about the situation. Because he's like that. He does those type of things.
it makes a lot of sense to me, honestly. So, but here's the thing: she's locked up, and y'all found out she's pregnant. Like,
Yes.
what? Where was your mind? Were you like, what the heck happened?
Right. I was like, "Oh my God, how did this happen?" Like when my mom called me and she was like, "Daisy, this," and I was like, "What? You're kidding me." She was like, "Yeah, and the funny part was that it was on Christmas Day. And I was
Oh,
like, "It's
my
Christmas
goodness.
Day. I'm gonna drink some coquito. I'm gonna have fun with my kids." And then my mom calls me with this, and I'm like, "What? Is this Mary and baby Jesus? What is going on here, Lord Jesus? Like, is this the new coming? And
Oh
she's
my
like,
God.
I said, "Mom, how did this happen?" She was like, "I don't know yet. She doesn't really say, she doesn't want to say much on the phone." And then I guess, she was telling us these stories because I guess she was trying to, like, I don't know, protect the boy or didn't want to get in trouble, or I have no
Oh,
idea. And then she kind of told us that, this is the story that they asked her to say. And I'm like, okay.
wait,
So
that
I
who asked her to say?
so basically when I was very upset that she was pregnant
Yeah,
in jail.
of
And I was like,
course.
"Look, I don't know what's going on. You're saying, because Daisy was kind of in the psych ward a lot in jail because, she suffers from depression. Anybody in her situation would be depressed, especially locked up
Absolutely.
and stuff like that. When,
Absolutely.
so I was like, she was in the psych ward a lot. So Daisy was on a lot of heavy meds and kind of like she didn't remember certain bits and pieces of things. It would be days where Daisy was knocked out for long periods of
Mhm.
time. And I'm like, did somebody assault you while you were in the psych ward?
Right,
Because
right.
you were on a lot of medication and don't remember a lot of things. She was like,
Mhm.
I kind of don't remember exactly a lot of things that happened when I was, in the sixth floor. And I was like, okay. So I got kind of upset, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring this to somebody's attention, because who goes to jail
Course.
and gets pregnant?
Right.
Like,
Right.
that should
That's
not
automatically
happen.
like laws were broken, like somebody was assaulted, something crazy has had to happen,
Right.
right?
Something crazy has had to happen here, because how is this possible? And
Right.
when I broke the story to the media, everything just went wild. It spread like wildfire.
So
I'm
initially you
talking
assumed it was
about,
like a guard or another patient or something like that, right?
right. I felt like maybe it could have been a nurse or a guard, or something like that, because that's her story is even crazier to me. I was like, what? So when that happened, everything went wild, and people were like, I've had people from church telling me that the baby is the new Jesus, and she's like the Virgin Mary because she got pregnant without being touched, and it's basically like, the
Oh my
Lord has
gosh.
asked, and I'm like, okay, whatever you want to take from this, but I want to get to the bottom of it. So that kind of went kind of crazy.
Oh my God. So you find out she's pregnant. You tell the media, like, hey, when did the story come out that like this semen was passed through an air vent, allegedly, or whatever? What do you
So
think happened?
so when the story actually broke on the media,
Yeah.
like, I guess the jail kind of got upset, and I remember her calling us and saying they are very upset with me, and they're saying this story, and they want me to sign this piece of paper and say this is what happened. And I'm like, well, what happened? What are they telling you to say? And she was like, this is what they're telling me to say about the AC vent thing and the whatever. And she goes, I'm just gonna, do what they're asking me to do, because I don't want them, because they were retaliating against her in there. She
Of
was getting
course they
beat
were.
up. They were
Of
putting
course they
her
were.
in this cell that had no AC in it. They would give her food late. They didn't, she didn't get medical attention until she was really far into the pregnancy also, like.
Oh wow.
So there was a lot of things that were happening to her, and she was just like, if I don't do this, this is gonna happen. So,
Wow. So wait, what in your opinion, how did she actually get pregnant?
in my opinion, I think somebody paid a guard, or something like that, because she was telling me about these
Oh.
cells that you can't see from the camera. And those are the cells that they take
Oh.
people in to assault them. Those are the cells that they put people in when they're mad at them and they want to beat them up. Or the guards get other cellmates to jump you in those cells and stuff like that. So I think
Mhm.
something along that line has happened, because anybody who has been to TGK and see those AC vents, and he's like 3 floors above. Like, I even
Right.
told her, how do you know that's his semen? How do you know you didn't pick up somebody else's semen that was left in there? Like, that's crazy. You could be having somebody else's baby, don't even know it. And it's crazy. Like,
Oh my
first of
gosh.
all, you're trying to tell me that TGK did not know that contraband was being passed through those AC vents? You guys didn't know you had a loophole? Oh, or you guys didn't want to do anything about it until somebody got pregnant.
Oh, so there's a bunch of different ways that his baby batter could have made it into her cell, having absolutely nothing to do with that air system.
Right, because you would have to see it for yourself to see those little tiny holes that are in the AC
Oh
vent.
my God.
And I'm like, how do
Okay.
you can't even, I can't even stick a pin through there. Like, it's crazy.
Oh. Very, you know what? That actually makes a lot more sense than the air vent theory. Because I was like, how big? Look, the way I've been looking at the air vents in my house and my son's, like, wait, what is happening over here? You know what I mean? That
Right.
makes a lot more sense. The moving of contraband from cell A to cell B, or from the men's side to the women's side. So this guy that she got pregnant by, they never met up face to face that you know of, right?
From no, what she tells me, no. And I don't
Lord
think
Jesus.
even if they did meet face to face, I don't think she could tell me.
Right, because she's in jail and all the
She's in
calls are
jail.
recorded and everything else.
Exactly. So
Oh,
even if
so
she did meet him face to face, I don't think
got you.
she would tell me that because she's not trying to get retaliated against.
Yeah, because she gotta live there. You can go on with your happy life, but she gotta live there.
She's got to deal with it, right?
Okay, so this story is not what we thought it was at all. Duly noted. Okay, so she gets pregnant. She has the baby there at the jail, or they take her to the hospital, or how does all that part of it even work?
Yeah, so she does go to the hospital and then she has the baby at the hospital. Right away, they take the baby from her. So she never got to like bond or do anything like that with the baby. And so his
Mm.
mom, which is dad's mom, is the one who comes and takes the custody of the baby.
Did your family want the baby? Did your family want to have custody of the baby at all?
I mean, I did tell her like, hey, I would take custody of the baby for you,
Hmm.
and I would take care of it. I'd be more than happy. But the mom has already lost her son.
Is that her only child, or
She
do you
has
know?
two sons, and they're both in jail.
She might not be
So,
qualified to be raising nobody else's kids. I'm just saying. Dang.
well, I guess that's
Mm.
I guess that's the way she wanted it to be, because she did
Okay.
lost both of her kids, so she's
So if
like,
they said they
hey,
did it,
I guess this is her second chance.
right. Maybe she's older and wiser or whatever. So they said they did a DNA test on the
Right.
baby, and they determined that it's this dude's baby.
And the funny part is they did the DNA test right before the when the media was coming out with it, like they wanted to kept asking about the investigation. And I don't know if you've seen the second part where him and Daisy are talking, and that's when they came up with this DNA test. We never saw the DNA test. Daisy never saw it. The mother never saw it. Nobody saw the DNA test. The only person who saw this DNA test was the media.
Ooh, girl, you are spilling tea. So we don't know who that. You know what they say back in when I was a kid? They would say, "Mama's baby, Papa's maybe." So we know that's Daisy's baby because we know that came
Right.
out of her.
Correct. We know
Mm.
it's Daisy's automatically, but I want to know at what point they did this DNA test and nobody knew about it. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy to me. So
And if
I
you're
was
gonna
like,
do
okay,
DNA tests, you got to do from both parents. I mean, listen, I've had a DNA test. Like they took me and my baby. They did the cheek swab, and they took the presumed father and they swabbed his cheek, and then they were like, okay, yeah, all three of y'all are related. But I don't know if they swabbed her or if they didn't swab her at all, or how all that part of it
but
works.
that was the funny part because she didn't even know about it. So when it came on the media, when they broke the story and then they came out with the DNA test, she was like, "Where does DNA test came from?" And I was like, "They didn't tell you? Like they didn't, do the swab?" And she was like, "No, I don't even know where they got that, but it says he's a father, so I guess she's okay with it." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, where this test came from?" She was like, "I don't know. I never even saw the test." And I was like, "Oh my god, what are these people trying to do? Obviously, you're trying to cover something." Cover up something.
Hello, jail. Y'all, listen, this story is real convenient if the general public and the media continues to push the story forward that this baby, the air vent, blah, 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 whatever. But something in the milk ain't clean. Something in the milk ain't clean.
Correct. And you heard what the expert said. The chances are like
Yeah.
it was
Okay. I,
crazy.
I would I would be very curious to see a new DNA test. Is there a lawsuit afoot? If you can answer that question, I don't even know.
I mean, we haven't did a lawsuit yet because we were more
Hmm.
focusing, sorry, my
Yeah, no.
phone.
Do what you got to do.
We were more focusing on Daisy's trial more than anything.
Right,
So
right.
um right now we're just trying to get, through let her cope a little bit with everything that's going on before we keep moving to the
Yeah.
next step and to the next step. We have
Oh my
to basically
gosh.
one thing at a time, because and also that supposedly investigation had just gotten complete too, because we can't do a lawsuit until the investigation is complete.
Right, right. How so Daisy was convicted last week, which was heartbreaking to me. Obviously heartbreaking to her and the family. How are you guys holding up?
I mean, we just trying to take it day by day. We're very upset, of
Yeah,
course. Who wouldn't be
yeah.
upset?
Of
But
course.
it's not like the end of the world. You know, there's always something we can do about it. You got to stay positive, because if we just
Mhm.
start, being depressed and getting our feelings and all this type of stuff, which is okay because everybody doesn't cope the same way. Um,
Sure.
we won't have a clear mind to start thinking about the next step or the next move, and that's
Right.
important to me. So, I was upset, I was depressed, the day and all that, but then I started thinking to myself, it's not over yet.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anybody
you got
who
a
watched
long
that
road ahead.
trial would know it's not over yet, because there was so much weird things happening in that courtroom that I couldn't even believe. I was like, what is going on here? It's like a circus in this courtroom.
It was what first of all, you looked gorgeous, but
Thank you.
also that prosecutor, I was like, he's doing everything but throwing a tantrum and peeing in his pants every chance he gets. The whole thing was crazy to me. It was
I mean,
nuts
he was very disrespectful. He had no
on
respect
every
for us
level.
as witnesses. Um, And the second that we got on the stand, it for me, it was not to understand what happened that day. It was more to say, liar, you're a liar. What did you say? You didn't say it exactly like this on your paper. Excuse me? First of all, you just did my deposition last week. And this is
Mm,
already almost 3.5 years later. Like, who's gonna know everything word per word? And then
yeah,
you ask me to answer everything simple and try to keep my answers short. So when you're asking me something, you ask me to answer you simply and keep everything short, and it's what I did. And then you're sitting here trying to put words in my mouth, say things I didn't say, and I'm not allowed to
mhm,
defend myself against that? No. Why is it that the police get to say, "Oh, well, this person said this to me or that to me"? We weren't allowed to say what somebody said to us.
right, right.
Because they kept
The whole
saying,
thing
no,
was
we don't want to
crazy.
know what somebody else said to you. Want to know this and that. But when they asked the police, oh, did Crystal Barreto say this to you? Oh, yeah, she said this to me. Oh, but you're using hearsay when it comes to the cops, but it's not okay for us to say what somebody said to us as evidence?
When they said Crystal Barreto said, "Oh, if he's dead, it's because Daisy
Daisy
shot him."
must have
But
killed him, right? Huh?
there was no body cam. Nobody put that in a report. Like I was like, where did that even come from? I
Come
don't even
from.
know how they came up with that statement. It was crazy to me.
And the first time I heard the statement was when we had the Arthur hearing, which was to get her out on bond. And they
Yeah.
asked me, and I was like, what? What are you talking about? And they were like, did you say this? And I'm like, no, I did not say that. I didn't remember ever saying that to anybody. Who said that I said that? And they were like, no, this and that and the other. And I'm like, okay, whatever. No, I didn't say that. And then when he asked me again in the deposition, he asked me to keep my like, just answer simply yes or no or this and that. So he asked me, "Do you remember ever saying this?" And I said, "No, I don't. I do not remember ever saying that." So what
Right.
is the difference between no? No is no. No matter how you
Right.
put it. No means no.
Right.
So when he asks me again, I'm like, "No, I never said that." Like, stop
That
putting
whole
these
thing was
words in my mouth. If I'm a liar, I lied in the Arthur hearing. I lied in my deposition. I lied here in front of the judge. My answer has always been clear and the same. No.
yeah. Yeah.
And that makes me very mad because the first thing they always try to do is accuse you of lying. And they did it
Right.
that day to all of us.
I saw
They
it.
did it to all of us. They didn't even let us speak. They didn't try to let us get our side through. They attacked us. Oh, you lied about this. Or you lied about that. Oh, or like they try to tell my mom, you said get out, or did you say leave? Get out, leave. What's the difference?
It's a distinction without a difference. I also heard that your niece was locked up after she testified, that they put her in a cell. Is that true?
They were trying to get us arrested. They were trying to
Why?
get us arrested because they were trying to say that we lied because we use a, oh, because you said get out, and then right here you said you told him to leave. Excuse me? Are you guys crazy? Like, what is going? My mom got so upset. She was like, "You guys are ridiculous. You guys, this is outrageous. I cannot believe this." Then
Wow.
trying to say we were watching live feed outside. Like, are we
Mhm.
supposed to be just sitting there looking around at everybody? We were on our phones. You don't know what we were watching on our
Course,
phone. Oh
of
no, I
course.
kind of glanced over at her phone and I saw a live feed on her phone. What? Oh yeah, it was around 1 o'clock. Then he goes back in and changed the time to a different time. And I'm like, you know what? You guys are so crazy. Like, this is crazy. You guys are treating us very poorly. Uh I felt like they felt like maybe they were losing the case, and they were trying to do
Yep,
something spontaneous, something crazy and outrageous to try to get our statements thrown out. And this was ridiculous. This was crazy. And the way they
that's
treated my
nuts.
mom that had just flown in from Texas and she literally got there at 5 in the morning was ridiculous.
Wow. Wow. The whole thing was crazy. But I mean, the truth is, nothing about this case is finished. Nothing about it is finished. I mean, Daisy faces sentencing. When is she scheduled to be sentenced? I would say fairly soon, I think.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I heard it was something for November that's coming up
Okay. That sounds about right. So November, but they say there's like a mandatory minimum of at
of
least 10
25
years.
years. Well,
Well,
they
right.
said 25,
Yeah. Well, because there was a gun involved. 25 years
right?
because there's a gun involved. And so she will obviously have appeals. And who knows what's going to happen with this lawsuit with the DNA test. Like all of that
Yeah,
part of it
that's
is
crazy.
crazy. Her story is far from over. Far from
I'm
over.
over, yes. I keep
Jesus
telling her this.
Christ.
I'm like, anybody who listens to your story is gonna be like, what is this? This is something like a
Mhm.
lifetime. This is like lifetime movie right here. It's so crazy. And I hope in the end, that she can be reunited with her kids and her baby. That's what I hope happens at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. How old is her baby now?
1 years old.
Okay. Have you ever seen her? Have you met the baby?
Yes, not in person, because she lives kind of like more north, from
Yeah.
me. But
Mhm.
she's always sends us things through the phone, and does the
Oh,
video
that's nice.
calls and stuff like that, which is very nice. And she seems like she's doing a really great job taking care of the baby.
Well, that's good. That's I mean, listen, hopefully this is that mother's second chance to raise a good it's a little girl, right?
Yes, it's
You
a
know, if
little
it was
girl,
a boy,
and
they wouldn't.
she looks just like Daisy's dad.
Oh, wait, Daisy's there. Really? Oh, wow,
Yes,
that's funny. That's funny.
yes, she
You know, if
looks
it
like
was a boy,
his
they would have named him
twin.
Jesus. They would have been like, little Jesus Cristo,
Oh my god. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He would have been named Jesus Junior.
right? Right?
Yes.
There, I told you I was only going to keep you an hour, and I am a woman of my word. There are so many new members on this because this is a members only chat. After we've recorded this, I'll put it out live for everybody else to see. But I was like, I don't want my moderators spending all their time fighting people who want to say nasty, ugly things, whatever. So this has been a members only chat, but a lot of new members have joined just so that they
Oh,
could
great.
participate, say, hey, girl, hey, hear Daisy's story, hear your story, some really, really nice super stickers. I'm not going to read all of these, but thank you. Thank you. Wait, this one. Wait, this has a whole message. Dear Crystal, you are awesome, and I am sorry that the justice system failed you and your family. That's from Purple Irish Sweater.
Oh, thank
So
you.
beautiful. And then BB Lee 333 says, thank you, Crystal and family. So there's
Thank you so much for everybody who's supporting Daisy. Thank you.
yeah, and Mrs. Parks, who is always in the house, says big prayers to Crystal, Daisy, and her family. What has her attorney said about her chances of appeal? That's a good question.
Oh yes, he's gonna appeal.
Good. Good, 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 good. So look, I am going, everybody's like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Stay in touch. I would be remiss if I did not put up this banner. If you or somebody you know is living with or experiencing domestic violence, you are not alone. The National Domestic Violence Hotline advocates are here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Call 1-800-788-SAFE. That's 1-800-788-7233, or text START, START, at 88788. There's also a chat line. The information is on the screen. Crystal, I cannot thank you enough for coming with all the scalding hot tea. We have
Yeah.
questions about paternity. We have questions about this lawyer and all kinds of shenanigans. So we'll be in touch soon. Hang on for a second. I'm going to play the outro.
Dear true crime friends, we clutch our pearls and laugh again. We all gather around, Kathy has a story to tell, our favorite comedian. Heffa, please, I don't have the free time unless you got the scoop again. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away. Yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 hey. The world is filled with chaos muppets that like people to kick the bucket from Idaho, Iowa, and everywhere in between. Heffa, please, boncation in the first degree. Heffa, please, come solve the case with me. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away. Yeah.
Come here, not Spike. Come here, bye, not Spike.